I feel like I just came in from the apple orchard wearing a straw hat and Mama was making syrup in the back country. Hi everybody, Robert Jones back in the kitchen today and doing some optominal recipes. Starting a new series for you guys about the fall. I'm starting a little bit early so you guys are going to have these recipes to make for your friends and family and children and your grandma. Cook for your grandma. Alright you guys, today we have something special. I'm going to be making a bundt cake. It's going to be a, hang with us, caramel, apple, pumpkin, bundt cake. Write that down. Say it 5 times fast. This is going to be fun. I've got fresh apples. I've got some Granny Smiths. And we got some nice fresh ingredients for you guys. We're going to make a nice bundt cake. And then we'll top it off with some caramel. And maybe sprinkle some nuts over it just to make it good. Alright you guys, so let's check it out. Alright you guys. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to grease and flour our bundt cake pan. They make lots of different kinds. This is a quite old one. It's very sturdy, it's very heavy. The new ones they make, you can get them out of silicone, you can get them out of thin aluminum, you can get them disposable, you can get them out of with Teflon coating, but this is an old-fashioned aluminum one, so it requires a little bit of prep. I'm going to be using some spray here. This is the one I got from Trader Joe's. It's canola oil with butter flavor, which doesn't need to be butter flavor, but so what we're going to do is we're just going to spray this down. Make sure you get your core good. Try to give yourself a little bit of a pattern, and that way you won't miss anything. You guys see that? Yeah, you can see that. And I'm trying to do it over the sink, so any spray bits. Now you can get the kind with the flour if you want. I've used that as well, but today, well, this one was cheap, and it smells good. It smells like throwing it on the ground. It smells like butter. Okay. We've got our measured flour here, so I'm just going to take a little bit of this, pop it in here, and then you just want to shift it around. If you guys have never done this, it's not hard. Just takes a little time. Just shift your flour around and coat all of your surfaces. If you don't have spray, you can of course use butter or oil and just move it around with a paper towel or your finger. Need a little bit more flour. The whole idea here is to have it not stick to the pan when it comes out, especially because this is a bundt pan and it has odd shapes to it. It makes it a little more difficult. Okay, when you think you've got it all done, when you think you got it all floured, just turn it upside down and drop it in your sink one time. And that will get all the excess flour out. That way you don't have any big chunks, because you don't want any big chunks, because that's not yummy. Or in the words of Alton Brown, that's not good eats. Okay, so there's our floured pan and we can set this aside. Okay you guys, the next thing on our agenda here is to dice up some apples. If you haven't watched the slicing video, you can do that. I'm just going to do this very quickly since you guys can figure it out. Basically we're just going to peel them and then we're going to chop them up and we're just going to make a small dice out of it. Now here's a tip for you, pro tip. You see how it has this label on here? Now here's the thing. When you buy your apples, don't take this label off until it is time to use the apple, because oftentimes what happens is, just like this, it's really hard to get off of here. And so if you do get it off of here, sometimes you will tear the skin and the apple will go bad faster. So just leave it on there. I can't even get it off. There it goes, finally. Just leave it on there until you are ready to do that. And then your apples will last longer. There's your little tip. Alright, let's chop these up. Let's peel them and chop them. guys, you can see it doesn't take a long time to cut up apples, just takes a little bit of practice. You can do it! I have faith that you can learn how to do it, and do it. Do it! Okay, you guys, we are over here at the famous blue mixing bowl. I love this thing. Steve, let's gift from my friend Steve, back in the late 90s. If you're watching, I still love this thing. Anyway, okay, so to the bowl, we are going to add, let me reach through here. By the way, I am here. Okay, so we're going to put in 2 eggs, 2 magic eggs, crack on the countertop, put it in the bowl, get new shells, because that's not good. Ooh. Spurty egg. Okay, and to this also, we are going to add 1/2 cup of brown sugar. That's the 2 lumps that are packed. You want to make sure it's packed because you don't want any air spaces. You want to make sure you're getting the proper measure. If you want to weigh it, you can do that too. Also, we're adding 3/4 cup of white sugar into the bowl. And then we're going to put on the magic paddle. The magic paddle. Put that in, lock it down, load, and go. Alright, we're going to start out slow. And then we want to mix this until it is light and fluffy yellow. You'll know. Basically, we're making sure that the sugar granules are mixed in. You know, the great part about filming this is there's a friggin' timer on the camera. It's great. I don't have to time anything, I just look at the camera. Okay, look, light and fluffy, that's what you want. It looks a little brown because of the brown sugar, but let me tell you, it's smooth, and it tastes good, and it's not fluffy. Can you guys see the air bubbles in there? That's kind of what you want. The idea is to make sure that there's no grains of sugar left, and the eggs are mixed in properly, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, next we're going to put in 3/4 cup of oil to make it extra delicious. Now you can use whatever kind of oil you want. This is just plain old vegetable canola. If you're trying to use some heart smart blah blah blah, you know what? Go for it. I don't care. It's just to make the cake lighter in texture and tastes good. Okay, so that's 3/4 cup of oil. And now comes the vanilla, and I'm looking for the measurement of the vanilla. There we go, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, pretty standard. Just using the old Kirkland. Teaspoon of vanilla, just to give it flavor. You guys, I am in a semi-brilliant mood today. I don't know why. Give this a little mixy mix. Okay, and to that we're going to add 1 cup of pumpkin. This is a 15-ounce container, which means we only want 8 ounces of it, which means we want about that much. And yes, I got it for $1 at the store. How cheap is that? It's pumpkin. So we're going to put about 3/4 of this in here. You know what it smells like? Pumpkin. If you have fresh pumpkin, you have pumpkin puree. Oh, I have pumpkin puree in the freezer. I didn't even remember. Oh, well. Okay, so there's about a cup's worth in there. And we're going to give that a little mix. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way, and you guys get to see this magic happen. Okay, we have a bowl. Can you see? There's the bowl. To the bowl, we are going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. We're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a lot of airplane noise. Salt, and we're going to add 1 tablespoon, which is 3 teaspoons. I'm just going to keep using the teaspoon, So 3 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. So then I'm just going to take this, and I want to mix this pretty well. We don't want any lumps. You guys can do this how you want. If you want to put it through a sieve, you can do that. I'm feeling lazy. But I just want to make sure there's no lumps of baking soda. And cinnamon is actually a really good way to break stuff up. So let's do that. Boom, shalakalaka. We've got our bowl back here. So we're going to put our cinnamon and stuff in, and I'm going to give that a little mix. And a little scrape. Okay, so here comes the good part. So now we're going to put the flour in. The flour has been pre-sifted, and I'm going to put it in here in thirds. So we're going to put a third of this in and then mix it a little bit. Just a little. All right, and scrape down your sides to get all the goopies. And look, the batter, it's done. That's it. That's all you gotta do. You wanna do this by hand? Do it by hand. You can do it. Make some cake. This is the easiest kind of cake to make. Okay, so let me get this off of here. Just try to get it all. Okay, now take it off here. And let me show you guys what you got. Look at that. Batter. Batter, batter. Alright, let's give it a little taste just in case. Cinnamony. Now here's the part you want to do by hand. So once you've got your batter, put your apples in, and you want to mix them in by hand. Believe me, you don't want to crush your apples. Your apples don't want to be crushed. No crushing, no apples. Okay, and then we're just going to use the fold, which is just under, over, under, over, and just push them, basically push them down in the batter. Give them a little flip. You just want to get them in there and combine. Now if you notice in this, we didn't put any milk or anything. We got that pumpkin in there. That's plenty to make this wet. You guys can see this batter is a little thick. Just keep on keeping on. It looks like the color of peanut butter. It looks like peanut butter and apples. Now I'm glad it's not peanut butter because I am not a peanut butter fan. And just make sure you get to the bottom. Get it all. And look, boom, boom. You got batter. Do you remember this precious? This is the precious. This is our floured pan. Now we're just going to put it in here, and I try to do it in pieces around. You can always. Now remember when these apples cook, there's going to be a lot of water that comes out of them. So you may think this batter looks really thick, but it's going to cook out. By the way, I've got the oven already on. It is at 350. That helps for even cooking if you can have it preheated for this type of situation. And it's going to be about 50 to 60 minutes, so almost an hour for this. But while the cake is cooking, we're going to make the luscious caramel sauce. Trying to get this out. Wish you guys could smell it. Smells like fall. Alright, and then we're just going to try to push it down. Since it's so thick, make it even around as far as the amount. And then I want to give it a couple drops just to try to get the air bubbles out. Now, this sucker's going in the oven. I will see you in an hour. Alright, you guys, we are over here at the stove playing you a song. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. To make caramel sauce, it's quite easy. We're going to turn the heat on this, make sure there's nothing in the pan. I just cleaned it so it's good to go. Okay, so there's nothing in here. I'm going to turn this on medium heat on the stove. And I'm not going to add water or anything. I'm simply going to add the sugar straight away. So this is just plain white sugar. It's a natural organic sugar, which is why it's a little bit yellow. Don't worry, it just means it's not bleached. It doesn't matter. You can use turbinado, you can use plain white sugar, you can use whatever you want. I'm just going with the organic because it was at Trader Joe's and I like it. So there you go. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to let this heat on medium, and we're going to stir it occasionally, and it's going to start to get lumpy. Now you can do the water method and you can do all that kind of crap, but I just find this is easy. You can even use a thermometer. If you want to bring this sugar up to 350 degrees, which I believe is the medium crack or hard crack stage. Basically for me, I just watch it, I make sure it doesn't burn, and I make it sure it is a darkish color because I want it to be a dark caramel, but I don't want it to burn. Now, this is kind of the watched pot. So you guys get to watch this in fast motion. Here you go. Okay, this is the time you do not want to walk away from this. You've got to watch it. You see how it's getting dark? We're basically getting there. We're just waiting for the lumps to melt. And I'm going to switch over to a whisk. And we've got our butter at the ready. So 3/4 of a pound of butter we're going to mix into this. Oh, starting to smoke. So as soon as it starts to smoke, you need to get it off the heat. Turn off the heat. If it's smoking, turn off the heat and keep mixing. You've gotten a little too hot, and that's okay. We're going to get the lumps out of this. Nice and dark. I like a dark caramel. Lots of flavor. Okay, now we got to get the butter in here. So carefully put your butter, and it's going to make all kind of damn noise. And oh, this is what you want. So just slowly mix this. Don't worry about it. It's going to look lumpy. It's going to make a lot of noise like this. It's going to look weird and gross. So then put your heat back on medium. And continue to cook it until this all melts in. So basically what we've done is we've gotten the color on the caramel. Now we're breaking apart the molecules of the sugar with the fat. I want to get this back up to a high heat. Okay. And we also have 1 cup of heavy cream here. And we're going to put that in. Now most of the water is gone from the butter. So this is going to be, again, really hot. It's going to make a lot of noise. Okay, now the water is going to break apart the sugar some more, and we should have sauce. So we want to cook this for 3 more minutes. Okay, when it starts to do this, starts to come back to a full boil, and it's all mixed in, you can turn the heat off. Just make sure there's no lumps, that's all we're trying to do, and keep it from boiling over. Okay, now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, kosher salt. These are 1/2 teaspoon measures. Put that in there to give it the salted flavor, and make sure you get that mixed in well. And that's it, kids. That is how you make caramel sauce. Look at that. Now, it looks pretty thin right now, but as this cools, it'll get nice and thick. And here's what it looks like on the spoon. Nice and smooth. Milk is smooth. And let's give it a little taste. Now, careful, it's hot. Oh, you guys are gonna love it. And 1 hour after, you get this lovely cake with lots of apples and charred goodness. So we did the normal thing, burned my finger, and no, that's not the normal thing. The normal thing is I checked it with a toothpick and it comes out clean. So we're gonna sit this for about 10 minutes and let it cool and pull away from the edge a little bit. I think it's doing pretty good. Our flouring job was nice. And then we will flip this sucker out onto a pan and decorate it. Oh, and then the best part, tasting it. Okay guys, I'm over here. I've got my cake and it's really hot and I'm going to set it down here. And then I'm going to show you how to do this. So I've got my cake pan. I'm going to put this on top of here. And then I'm going to attempt to take the little mittens or little puppets. Hello, hello. And we're going to flip this sucker over. Alright. 1, 2, 3, and flip. Ta-da! Ta-da! Alright. Let's see what happens. Look at that! We have a Bundt. We have an apple Bundt cake. And we got a little bit of flour on there, but I don't care. Because now comes the other part of the magic. Okay, you guys remember this caramel. So check this out. Here's our cake. Take a little scoop of caramel. And I'm gonna drizzle, drizzle, drizzle on the fizzle, fizzle, fizzle. Look at that. I think we need more than that. You can put on as much caramel sauce as you like. I don't want to make it too crazy. Alright. And then the piece de resistance. Alright, then I've just got some chopped pecans. If my nieces are watching, you can use almonds because they got allergies. We're just gonna sprinkle a little bit around here, like this. Voila! Voila! Look at that! Look at that! Alright, let's cut a piece and have a bite. And you know I have to sing my song. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Woo! We've got cake. How good. Cake. 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 It's the moment you've been waiting for. Alright, you guys, check this out. Cake. Oh, it smells so good. I'm going to take a little bite of the front and hopefully not burn my mouth because you guys can see it's still steaming hot. But I wanted to try it for you guys on camera. Alright, it's got gooey caramel. I threw on some nuts. Should be nice and moist. It's a Bundt. I feel like I just came in from the apple orchard wearing a straw hat and Mama was making syrup in the back country. You guys, this is really good. It is super moist. Can you guys see that? It is super, super moist. The caramel just adds a little bit of sweetness on there. The apples are cooked, if I can show you. Here's an apple. Apple is cooked. That's really good. Okay, we'll have one more bite. And it's not too sweet. You'd think it'd be really sweet. It's not that sweet. I mean, it is sweet, obviously, but it's not crazy sweet. It's not grocery store nasty bakery cook sweet. Can you guys see it steaming? Steaming. This is good, you guys. Try this. Etsy. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed learning how to make this bundt cake today. It's not that hard. The hardest part is making the caramel sauce, and if you really wanted to, you could cheat. But you don't need to. Now you know how to make caramel sauce. And you can make it even salty if you want, so you're on the trend. Alright you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends, share with your family, make it happen. I'm so excited to do these recipes for you guys. Alright you guys, we're just kicking off fall. Let's get going. Talk to you guys later. If you want to talk to me on Facebook, it's Eudaemonius Mark II is my channel there. You can find me on there. You can find me on the gram of Insta. I love Instagram. If you guys want to see pictures daily of me and my activities, that's a good place to go. What else to tell you? Hope you guys are having a season. Thanks, guys. Bye.